I need something a little bluer, Maeve Pinkerton said. This is nice, but it's too green. She pointed at the sample strip I'd given her and indicated the chip woodland teal, which not only doesn't make any sense as the name of a color — teals are found near water, not woods — but did, as Maeve indicated, lean more toward a green tone than blue. If Maeve had told me she wanted something more blue, I would have given her a different strip, so I looked onto the rack to see what to hand her now. I understand. Sorry, I told her. Not sure what I was sorry for, but customers like it when you apologize, thus creating the illusion that it was your mistake and not theirs. If it leads to a sale, that's fine. If you get enough in the course of one day that don't lead to sales, it leads to a half bottle of wine with dinner. I found the color card I was looking for and handed it to Maeve, who was probably in her early to mid-70s, had lived in town for more than 10 years, and was getting ready to turn her former guest room into a library. That led to redecorating issues, and that meant, in the borough of Seabreeze, New Jersey, Maeve had come to see me. I'm the only game in town. Here's one I think you might like, I said, but didn't indicate a specific color chip on the card. If you suggest one, color being a subjective issue, customers will generally disagree. Give them a choice, and they'll conclude that the selection was entirely based on their own excellent taste. Sometimes that's even true. Maeve took the color card with renewed interest, now feeling in control and having put me in my transactional place. She wasn't a difficult customer, especially, and she didn't have an overabundance of attitude, but she didn't know what she wanted and was determined to get it. I sort of objected to her putting a library in her house on principle. I frequent the Free Public Library of Seabreeze, largely because the word free is in the name. I'd come back to this town in what we locals call South Jersey, near to Cape May, which a lot of people don't know is actually below the Mason-Dixon line, when my father was dying just 3 months earlier. And, for reasons I hadn't completely explained to myself yet, I'd stayed and taken over his business. This was, in fact, our second week open after some renovations and upgrades. Dad had left the place in a slight state of disarray, as his health had failed more quickly than the doctors had initially expected. So my funds were in somewhat short supply, and I spent a lot of time at the Free Public Library, as I've said. And I knew Maeve never went there, so her installing a library in her home, no matter how small, seemed something of a betrayal of a place I loved. But that wasn't going to stop me from selling her the paint she needed. At Breezeway Paint and Wallpaper, named after Breezeway Avenue, the street on which we are located, and feel free to stop by, we serve all people. And I actually sort of liked Maeve. She always asked about good books,